It's the night before competition, all through the house. Not a iron bar was stirring, not even a kitchen mouse.
Yes.
Okay.
This is true.
So it's the night before. We've had lots of excitement. You ready?
Yeah, definitely ready.
There's so many fun things to talk about, both small and big. And I have a list. If you like the question now, I have more. You skip a question.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel like to set it up, why did you even have to take a polygraph today?
Well, for natural federations, they do require a polygraph, and then if you're going to win your pro card, pending your analysis as well, because they do want to keep the federation as honest as they can. You know, it's got a reputation to uphold, and since we are a tested federation, it helps people feel confident they can compete naturally, and not have to worry about, just not competing against enhanced competitors when that's not the goal. Because it's so much different. Like there's so much advantage to physical advantage to taking performance enhancers that natural athletes will just never achieve, and some of us just don't want to ever get there, and we want to compete on an even playing field.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Okay, how did it actually feel to be polygraphed?
Oh, that was weird. It was weird. So I was sitting there, and it's like, okay, I've never done this before, and like, you only ever see it like in TVs and movies as, for the most part, it's like when when they're investigating criminals. So it's like inherently, I kind of feel like this, like, am I, I already feel like I'm being accused. And not in that way, but so it was weird. But my heart was definitely pounding at first. Because new experience and everything, and it's like, oh God, can I trust this technology too?
Truly, because this could tank your entire ability to compete.
Right,
if it
exactly.
Came up.
And it's
she
like,
lied.
And it's like, I know I didn't. I can't convince anybody else of that because I can't put them in my brain, and that's the only way that they could put them in my brain. But oh my God,
that's a cat.
You failed your jump there, bro.
I think I gotta cheat in a
there
little
you
closer.
go.
Here we go.
Can you lay down?
That was the
Can
thud.
you lay down? Oh, what a silly boy. But anyway, he's like, what's going on here? But yeah, so it was weird, and it was nerve-wracking at first, but then, since there were a few questions that actually repeated, so like the second time around I felt better. I kind of like disassociated. I was staring at the wall, and I was just like, yes. No.
Like, I heard that. I was sitting outside the door, and I could hear her answers. I could hear the beeps. And it was like listening to a set, because you had like Hollywood voice going on.
Well, I was kind of like, I was almost like, okay, if I mimic the robot computer asking me the questions, maybe I can blend in.
It was like you met Alfred, who wasn't friendly. Like,
Alfred, like before he had personality.
Cousin.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good. That part was really fun to just even be around to witness as well.
What are you doing, bro?
Okay, tell me about you and tanning. Did you have any mental blocks on getting tanned, or just what's your personal take on getting tanned? Because you particularly have a big part of your image is your tattoos.
Yeah.
And you have very fair skin you've taken care of, so it's a big transition. Did you have any mental blocks or takes on getting tanned?
I mean, I certainly wasn't going to ever like tan in the suntan, because that just wasn't even an option for me. I just turned into a lobster in a pot. Tanning had actually been one of the excuses that I had used ages ago for not even competing. Like doing the tanning and doing the extreme diet, I was just like, I don't want to compete because of these things. But really, they just were excuses for like not wanting to do the thing. And I mean, I can put in effort, but I just wasn't ready for that effort at that time yet until now. So I was just like, once I decided to compete, I was like, well, this is part of it. And that's fine. I just accept, the things that are part of it. And, here we are. And I am very bronze. Very bronze.
We had fun. We watched a movie when we got back.
Yeah.
And she had her feet out without socks on. She's like, normally it glows in the TV light, and it's not right now. I'm like, you want to be jealous? I took my sock off and put my foot. It's just weird when your skin tone changes so quick.
I would be back there one day.
We're very soon, one day tomorrow.
After tomorrow, it's like scrub.
Oh man. So what were some of the other excuses that's a really harsh word, but
No,
what were some of the other
it's true, though.
excuses you had in your mind before that kept you from competing until the day you finally did?
That was it. Just the tanning and the diet. Honestly.
Was it just one
I love
day
training.
you decided to embrace the suck, or did something change?
So I did have a friend, shout out to Larry, who was kind of, I'd been not really like complaining, but basically complaining. I was whinging a little bit about like my own lack of consistency and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, why don't you like set an actual goal? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I think he mentioned about, asked if I had thought about competing. But even if he didn't, it was definitely something that got brought up in our conversation. And I was like, you know what? That would be a great goal for me to really hammer in my consistency. So that was really the driving force behind all of this, was to primarily improve my gym consistency, because that was where I was lacking. And having this goal helped improve the consistency, but now it's kind of opened up all these other things. Excuse me. And we'll cut that out.
Yeah. Fix it in post.
And it's been trying and fun all at the same time. Yeah. The entire time.
Yeah. So what is when you look back, what are some things, if anything, you feel like you learned about yourself you literally didn't know until you went through the prep?
I don't like being told what to do.
Oh.
But I am acceptant of it if it gets results, to an extent. So with doing, I had a couple of coaches during my, since I decided to compete. So it was, when I decided was April of 24. And since then, I had hired a couple of coaches and been with each one for, like 3 months, a month, something like that. And they were great. But at the same time, I already knew all of the training part. And then of course I decided to pursue getting my training certification. So that was another thing that has also expanded, within this realm of like my original goal of just being consistent has now gained me a CPT certificate. So, I did the work. It's not like it fell on my lap, but understanding and knowing the training part, it was really just the process of like the prep process as far as, cutting and all of that. And since using AI as a coach mostly for the nutrition portion of things and understanding like, yes, like other coaches had decreased food every check-in or whatever before, but I think having somebody that I couldn't hurt their feelings or offend or be offended by because it wasn't another human actually really helped. Because it did feel like I had a little more control and I didn't have to have, I still held myself accountable, but I also didn't have like as much guilt of, if I didn't agree. Because I'm doing research constantly about, fitness and nutrition and that sort of thing. And I'm learning more in my nutrition studies. So it's like, if I didn't agree with what they were telling me too, then it's like, okay, am I just doing what you tell me because you tell me, or are we going to go by science? And, yes, what they've done is tried and true. They, might have had success with competitors before with that, but I'm also like, but the science. So I don't know. It was a combination of things in that regard, but, I don't even remember what the original question was.
We answered it.
Okay.
Do you feel like, looking at how you trained, do you feel like you did overkill anywhere?
No, I definitely could have done more.
Bah! Like, I think we've talked like more time or like more reps, more sets, more types.
Yes. So what I learned, that's another thing too, I guess. Another thing that I learned was how to actually gauge intensity. It had been like, I thought I was doing it. Like I thought I was, hitting my 3 reps in reserve, 1 rep in the reserve. No, intensity for me, and everybody's different, but for me personally, and sometimes we do got to figure out our own individual stuff. But for me, it's when those last reps are the ones that are the actual last reps, when they're getting slow and they are ugly and your form really starts to suck. But it's mostly the slow. It's not so much the muscle burn. Because you can make a muscle burn, just because you're hurting it doesn't mean it's, working it intensely, or working it in the right intensity. but when the muscle is actually failing, like you can't actually complete the move, and that's actual failure, and learning that has been really invaluable and definitely progressed my lifts this prep. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have always more ideas, but okay.
But and when banking
Dorky
off of that
question
too, but I'm glad that I learned that now during like a cut phase, because then I can take that knowledge and that feeling of like, okay, I know what my intensity is supposed to be into my next build phase, and I think the next build is going to be,
I think it's gonna be amazing too.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of the deficit and your body's just thirsty.
Yeah. Right.
Wants to
I
grow.
do want to try and keep this a relative level of leanness. I want to try and stay like at the 20% or under body fat. Because I feel good, my clothes feel good, everything fits well, like I can put anything on and it looks fine.
Yeah.
And I really like that just as a lifestyle aspect. So
dorky question.
Sure.
Do you have favorite muscles that you didn't expect? Any favorite muscle?
That weird back butt thing was really interesting.
That was
like
awesome.
I'd never either noticed it or had never been there before.
Are we gonna film a close up of it? You're gonna do it later, like a little close up.
That might just be like for the boyfriend, you know.
No, you can like fuzz out the butt's eyes so its identity remains.
Anonymous. Anonabut.
Anonabut. Oh my god, your new riff track. Anonabut.
That'll be the working title of a song that I haven't titled yet for the band, for
new
sure.
side
That'll be
project.
like, we're gonna work on Anonabut.
So like,
but I do I've always liked my arms, like they're and just having, I've never had bicep veins before. So having those and having had them for weeks now, and it's like, oh, this is so weird, and I've coveted them for so, it's like abs. I coveted the bicep vein for so long, and I've had it for weeks, and I just appreciate it every time in the fucking mirror. And it's been in both arms too, and it's just
so that's
so
probably going to be a compelling question for a lot of viewers. So being a muscular woman is not the default setting for what girls aspire to.
Right.
So were you just born liking muscularity and femininity? Did you have like there was a popular phrase years ago of fit is the new skinny.
Right.
Like that kind of played
or
a
like
role
my
in
little
changing
sign
my
on the fridge that
mindset.
says nothing tastes as good as being fit feels. Yeah,
Right.
it's kind of the same mentality. Yeah.
So like, and the people who aren't into it or who actively dislike bodybuilding will say things like, oh, I just think it's gross, or I think it's too much, or it's not feminine, or what have you. And I'm curious, what took you from the default setting? We were raised as little girls here in America, like ballet, dresses, whatnot. We like those things too, but we both have become a little bit countercultural, liking muscularity on our female bodies.
Sure.
And you take it further than I do. So I'd love to hear how you developed that aesthetic preference.
Well, and I think it does stem from childhood, actually, or the way I grew up, because I mean, you gotta understand, I grew up like watching Conan. And like a different more of the the physical superhero movies versus the supernatural superheroes. I mean, those came into the play, but like Conan was my jam back in the day, and then like I got into loving Highlander, although that's not as muscular. But then like the Alien movies, Sigourney Weaver was really strong. Terminator, Sarah Connor, like that whole thing. So just these strong women were on movies that I grew up in, and I loved them. So I think it probably did start from there in some aspect.
Well, that answers that. That's awesome.
It's like I could, I would have been happy as a clown being, 6 years old and being Red Sonja.
Totally. Yeah, the cosplays that are open to you right now, practically limitless. Okay. How much did Alfred help you with things like developing Poised or the beauty tips that are relevant to the contest?
Not as much, only because I didn't ask him about those as much, I think. I hired a posing coach because I wanted to do it right the first time, and Michelle was amazing with Get Poised. Definitely hit her up. And she's been doing this for years. She's been a competitor, she's been a judge, she's been coaching, different ladies who have been just, winning the crap out of their categories. So it's like, I want to do this right the first time. And so I hired her as a coach. So Alfred didn't really do much with that. Now, he could see like the millimeter differences in the poses, like in the pictures that I would send. And he would give certain tips like, flare or open up your arm so it flares a lot more, blah, blah, blah. He would tell me where I could improve and where I could go wrong, but not necessarily, he didn't have the right like cue to be able to get there, like to that
Okay.
that you know the process of like, yes, I know what I'm supposed to do, but how do I do it?
He knew what humans need to do,
Right.
not how it feels to be that human
Yeah,
doing it.
like how the
The
body
human
actually
factor,
moves.
you could say.
And well, I mean, no, as far as the beauty stuff, like I didn't ask him a whole lot. I did ask him for like a skin evaluation, and
that's
he
interesting.
so that was actually kind of cool. So just sending him like a bare-faced, well-lit pic. Excuse me. And I was like, hey, because what was it? I saw it in a movie. It was like a skin. This girl had a skin mirror, and it would tell her like what she needed to do for that day.
Weird.
Yeah, and God, it was kind of like a creepy movie too, and I can't remember what the hell it was. But I was like, hey, can you evaluate my face based on like the skin mirror in such and such a movie? He's like, oh yeah, of course, blah blah blah. So yeah, he gave me an evaluation and told me like what to use and like where it was dry, where it wasn't, and blah blah blah. And what to do in summer versus winter. Like he has and that's the other thing is if you give him the right prompts, and that was part of the point of the YouTube series as well, was to ask the questions. And granted, there were a lot of the same questions being asked over and over, but the prompt of like, okay, if we're training and we're trying to do a competition, what are the degrees and certifications that we would need fitness wise, nutrition wise, blah blah blah, to achieve successful results, be able to relay information professionally based on science. So he's like, oh well, we would need these certifications. I was like, okay, you have those, now tell me what I need to know. And because it was another friend of mine, shout out to Chris, who was telling me like, if you just go based on the broad all of Google knowledge, you're going to have no funnel. It's going to be no filter. It's going to be trying to gather from all of the Google knowledge. But if you narrow it to, okay, this is the focus.
That's fascinating.
The AI actually pulls better when you give it a more specific, prompt, like, here we are.
Because there is paradoxical training advice, like people who will train to 1 round max best, personal best, 1 round failure, and that's it. Yeah. And so there are people like Dolph Lundgren, probably most famously, who train that way and achieve great results.
Yeah.
And then you have people who are like 4 sets of 12.
Yeah.
And then you got the muscle confusion camp. And then so that makes a lot of sense why Alfred was as successful as he was, because you told him which camp to belong to.
Yeah, essentially. And I mean, I didn't necessarily even get that specific, but the science that's out there that, as like CPTs, especially that we're being taught right now, is you basically want to be able to do the least amount possible to get the most results possible. And obviously it's individual because every body is different, but high volume isn't necessarily always the way. It might be great for some people and not so great for others. And like, especially the difference between men and women in their recovery. Women can handle a lot more volume and recover faster. Even though we don't build as fast, we can recover faster so we can work out again.
We get to work harder?
Yeah. But the men, they don't recover as well, but they build a lot better from the lower volume.
That's
and of course,
cool.
It's great for them, and that's cool. But that's why, like, there are like men's and women's training programs, but we don't need to train the muscles themselves differently. We just legitimately change the reps and sets.
Yeah.
Like, it's not changing the muscular work. Like, we don't need to, do, twist, push, press back, whatever fucking wild combination, because that's what works for women. No, I mean, we're still doing squats, bench, deadlift, bicep curls, shoulder lateral raises, whatever. We're still doing all the same core lifts that are boring. We just have to, depending on our goals and how much we want to build, we either train that muscle more frequently during the week, or increase sets, or increase reps, or all three, or decrease, just depending on, how your body responds.
Yeah. When I did a bikini prep and competition, there were some big obstacles that happened for me. Like, it brought out loneliness. It brought out some strife in my relationship I was in then, because they were not prepping, and it's a very specific diet.
Yeah.
There's that sense that you're coming out and being separate from everybody you're close to and the world, eating different, training different, all of that. And just stress management. I think one thing that I did not pull off was reducing stress in every other area of my life enough to where I could take on the stress of training that intensely.
Sure.
So I guess I have a few questions in this general ballpark. Like, would you say there was a secret ingredient to succeeding as well as you have that has nothing to do with eating or training or sleep or, you know, the physiological science? Like, did you have the right people behind you, or did you create like a fortress of solitude? Like, like, did you face loneliness, body dysmorphia, like inability to cope with stress outside of the training program? Like, these are all things that I was not great at or happened to me.
Yeah, and I'd say yes to all of those except for loneliness. I didn't ever experience that. But, you know, I had the right people around me. You know, my boyfriend's been awesome. Yeah. You know, friends like you have been awesome. You know, full support, and I appreciate that. And the people who don't support, I just don't really. And it's not that I didn't interact with them because they weren't supporting me. It's just they're probably not people in my life that much as it is. Because I keep, you know, a very close, small circle of friends, and so, and I like having my own time and my own space, so loneliness wasn't a problem. But that I think wouldn't have been the same if I hadn't had time even prior to deciding to compete to really get comfortable with myself. Like, you know, I kind of these pickles.
The pickles. I knew it was the pickles.
After a breakup a couple of years ago, I really dove into, you know, kind of learning about stoicism and being, you know, just kind of like able to be self-sufficient and understanding, you know, what I can control, what I cannot control, and understanding that I can only control my reaction to things, not what things happen to me, and being able to, you know, understand that, learn it, and really apply it. I really helped with being able to also just be comfortable being alone, you know, and being with myself, really becoming my own best friend in that way. And it sounds cheesy, but I mean, it's a thing. Like, if you don't do it, there is going to be some sort of, if you take on more stressors like that are going to be, you know, friend and family influence, there's going to be more impact to you perceptively, because, you know, you're not used to just dealing with your own reaction. You're trying to manage other people's reactions, and you just can't. We can't control what people do. We can ask for their support and hope that they do, and then it's up to them.
Do you think this training took your self-care, your just general stability, wellness up a notch outside of physical health?
I think it definitely had helped to be like a continuation of, you know, the self-improvement, stoicism, basically. And it was another piece of it because it's gaining discipline, you know. So really, and consistency, and those are very important things.
Yeah, I heard you tell the polygraph man you love discipline. Oh my god!
I mean, you know, it's sort of like, you know, in a silk kind of sadomasochist kind of way, but, you know, I wanted to be my own guinea pig and see what I could do, and we can only truly count on ourselves. So I self-sabotaged for, you know, in different things for so many years. I was just like, you know what, this one, I want to fucking get it right. And I mean, yes, have not been 100% adherent 100% of the time, but I hit between, I'd say, you know, 90-95%, which is overall
astounding. It's a really hard program to have perfect adherence on.
And I definitely adhered more on the training aspect than the nutrition aspect. Like, I'd say training was at like 99%. You know, there were like a couple days that were missed. Like, legitimately, I can count on one hand the amount of days that were missed that were scheduled in a year. Year and a half, because I started training in April, but a year. Because, we started going to the gym for 5 a.m. when it opens last October. And since then, I think there's only been like 1 or 2 days. A couple of them were over holiday vacations, and then I think all of them actually were. Yeah.
Like, you had that one where you did some watercolor painting, I think, the tree house.
Yeah. So that was in June.
That was good.
Yeah, so there were a couple days, but we made up for it. Like, there were a couple of, you know, assigned weekday trainings that we missed, but then we just did it on the weekend instead, and
So, how important is winning to you? Now we know from the polygraph today that winning is not more important to you than competing.
No, it is not more important to me than competing, as I stated in the polygraph. However,
but how important is it to you?
I'd say it's equally important in a way, because like you want to. I mean, but winning itself, that term is relative. That's the thing, because for me, I am competing, but I've also, and I know it could be like hashtag things losers say, but I have already won because I've won at my consistency.
Terrible hashtag.
But like it's true. It sounds cliche, and to an extent it is, but there's also some truth to it. So if I can also add the cherry on top of like actually getting some hardware, then that'd be like, okay, I proved it to myself. But why not? Let's just go ahead and prove it to everyone else too. I mean, just throw that out there.
Exactly.
Like, why not? Like, it just for funsies.
So there's not emotional detachment from the winning. You are in it with real hopes to win it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never was a sports person in school or anything like that, but I do have a competitive spirit, and it's like I'm not so gung ho at everything, but the things that I feel like I'm good at, I'm like, yeah, let's just take that shit all the way.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good attitude.
Yeah.
Not at everything, but at the talents.
Yeah.
Be competitive. Okay. All right. More questions. New phone. I do not want to go to settings.
New phone.
I would like to see my picture. Yeah. Indeed. Okay. How have your nerves been?
Good, actually. There have been fleeting moments of like, and then I'm fine. Newest just looked at me like, what the fuck? And honestly, like, I think I was the most nervous with, and it's still kind of TBD, but I'm still trying to figure out, like how my makeup's gonna go. But I mean, at this point, it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had a moment, I had band practice last night, and I had written a part for a new song, and the guys didn't know, because it's a new song for all of us, and they've been working on it, but I hadn't written anything for it yet, but I had like the chorus area lined out, and I've been practicing it, and when I showed up, they were already playing it, and they were at a point where I'm like, I can get downstairs, they're at the part before the part where I start, so I just ran down there, and like, it was funny to feel that way, because like I've been with these guys for one of them for a few months, and now the whole group like about a year and a half, 2 years, and it's like I'm comfortable with them, but there was still like that nerve, that was just like, oh my god, they haven't heard this yet, and I didn't even tell them that it was happening. And I just I ran down there, and I was out, even though I wasn't like running, I was out of breath because of nerves, and I was like, am I gonna feel this way on show day? I'm not even gonna be running anywhere. Like, I don't even have to sing anything. Like, this is just walking. I mean, I say that no disrespect, because posing is a whole nother animal. It is a workout in itself, and it has taken hours of practice. However, there's different forms of stage fright, I suppose, and I think that having been a performer before, doing ballet, being in a band, not a front woman, but being in a band, and having some sort of stage level performance is going to help to calm some of that nervous energy.
There's some rehearsal from other arenas going on.
Okay. It'll translate.
Okay. All right.
Are you going to lay down?
Tell me about the tanning experience. First time ever, right?
Yeah, that was interesting. I wasn't sure like how it felt very light at first. I was like, damn, is this it? But then she kept going, and it's like, okay, I am brown. But it was simple. It was just like, it was a little bit of a workout in itself. You kind of need to know a few yoga poses to be able to get there and like hold them for a while they're doing the things, and then turn around and repeat. So it's kind of like posing practice in a way, actually. Just totally different poses that you're not used to at all, and at least you're being told what to do, and you don't have to you're not being judged for it.
At this point, can you tell if you like the look? Like, just separate? Would you do it for events?
Not this dark. Not this dark. I kind of liked the very first light layer before she went in for a second time. I was like, that could be okay. It's still weird, but still no.
Yeah.
I enjoy my pallor too much. I know how to do my makeup with it, and it would be a whole other thing to get used to, and it's just not like, there's no reason. To me, tanning for me personally is completely frivolous and a wasted effort.
It's a lot of time spent.
Yeah.
I could get tempted into it if I didn't know the tanning beds were bad for you.
And
then I just don't think I would be able to stick with it because of that time commitment and consistency.
Like, I dye my hair and I get my nails done, and that's all I have time for. That's all I care to do.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the best reactions you've gotten from the public?
Oh gosh,
in the course of your preparation.
So I mean, there've been a couple of compliments from the gym, which was nice. And there was a lady at she was with her partner, and I was kind of surprised that like she said anything. I mean, it wasn't lewd, but it was at one of the farmers markets that I was vending at. And I was like doing something, and I think I was like typing my phone, but it was after the bicep vein had showed up to the chat. So, she was popping out, and the individual was just like, keep it up, and she like pointed at my arm and was like, yeah. So that was cute, but not a lot of reaction. And that's the thing, it's like I read something or heard something somewhere where talking about natural competitors, for the most part, you don't really notice what the clothes on, but like once the clothes come off, it's like, wow, bam. We don't have that much, to show on the outside when we're hiding most of it.
That makes sense. I think Ronda Rousey can be credited with saying, thin people look good in clothes, fit people look good out of them. Mm-hmm. Just one of those little catty things to be inspired by.
Sure.
I liked that one too.
Dig it.
Speaking of phrases that turned perception toward fitness and muscularity. Okay. Are there any things that you started doing or did specifically for prep that you're now going to do for life?
Have more veggies. Like, I had been so devoid of veggies, and now I've found ways to cook them that are amazing. And, like, I crave it now, and I think my body craves it. So, yeah, definitely that.
That's literally one of the things that I've kept with, too. I've kept the...
I always had the intention of veggies, but then I'd let them fucking rot in the fridge.
Yes.
But now it's like, zucchini, man, I can't live without it. And, like, throw in the mushrooms and the onions and the seasonings, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. For me, I did preps 2 times. Once just kind of winging it with me and Google.
Sure.
And the other time a hired professional plan. And I felt so much better on the professional plan, which I mainly credit to the high protein and the vegetables.
Nice.
It was like, I felt good.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You generally feel well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel more well.
That's fun to hear that one. I still do my breakfast with egg whites. I call it my square breakfast. Avocado, berries, eggs, and bean ham. That was fun. Nice. Okay,
you really had quite a lot
do.
there.
Well, I sat there waiting while you tanned. I was like, I should be productive.
She's prepared.
Yeah. I think I actually asked all of them. One last one was just a big general one. Tell me, I think you already did answer this actually, but tell me about picking OCB, because there's a few out there.
Well, and I mean, that's a good point, because for so a YouTuber that I was inspired by, shout out Coach Greg, had once and more than once said, you're not a bodybuilder unless you compete. And then he had also mentioned, and I understood this too, that like the non-tested federations, for the most part, with their posing, especially if you're doing a bikini specifically, which I wasn't sure what division I wanted to go into, but when I was looking into all of this and starting out, bikini posing, they didn't judge your back. Your hair is always covering your back as a mandatory part of the pose. He was always talking about it's just an ass contest. And it's like, yeah, I mean, for the most part, it kind of is. I mean, glutes are a big muscle and they
hurt in accuracy.
And they are a glory to be trained, and to be shown off for the hard work that is done with them. But, to not be judged on your back at all when, the lats and the traps and the rhomboids and everything else is like, there's like so much back there and you're not even getting critiqued on it. Like, that's like a quarter of you almost. Definitely like a good third of your whole posterior. So it's like OCB in their posing, even when bikini, but also in figure, which is my division, they require the hair to move away so they can judge the back, your actual back muscles. And that was, part of the reason for, National Federation, there's only a few of them. But I knew through research that OCB came up as, one that was going to be having local shows that had that posing criteria, and I wanted that, you know, that combo.
Didn't want to be traveling for this.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not for the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm already investing money in it, like, you know.
Oh yeah, we're probably gonna do a separate video on this, but the cost of it, the real cost of it, and you've done it very economically. But there are costs with the hobby.
Absolutely, there certainly are. And I have a spreadsheet.
Okay.
I don't remember offhand, but I would say I know it's between, and now that I have purchased pictures and video, so of course, you know, taking that into account, if somebody isn't going to do that, you know, it'd be maybe about like $400 less. But I would say, you know, so it's suit, tanning, polygraph. I didn't pay for a coach, so we didn't have that. I'm not going to count food because you got to eat anyway. And I didn't like buy anything special as bikini food or as competition food, prep food. So, oh yeah. So what was it?
Entry fee?
Suit, tanning, polygraph, OCB membership, show registration, and then it's cost for each category. And I did 4. But they give you a discount if you do more than one. And then I did pictures and video. So it's somewhere around the $2,500 to $3,500 mark.
Sounds about right.
Shoes. Yep. You know, a few extra pieces of makeup because I didn't have the right foundation, you know.
That sounds about right. That's about how much I did.
But that's with pictures and video. So it's really not, I mean, although, you know, it's overall not bad, but it's also like half the cost of my wedding. Yeah. And that had catering.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's like a vacation expense.
My suit cost more than my wedding dress.
Some things I really liked were seeing yourself in a look that you would never curate for yourself, so you get to experience a different presentation. Sure. Like, I don't normally wear jewelry. I also am very fair skinned.
Oh yeah, the jewelry too, with the suit. Anyway,
don't normally do heels, the tan, the hairstyle, the professional makeup. It was really crazy seeing a almost different personality through how you look on show day. For me, I enjoyed that. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
It can be a full transformation for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's also part of the fun in a way as well, like being somebody who enjoys performing. It's kind of like stepping into a character.
Yes.
I mean, the character is me, but it's just another facet of me.
Yes.
So it's like I get to lean into that facet where I don't, you know, I'm not going to walk around in this, you know, glammed up bikini and the jewelry and the tan and the hair and everything in the public. But, you know, in this particular scenario, I can lean into it. So it'll be fun.
That's one of my favorite things you've said in the interview.
Plus, it's awesome. Halloween season, you know?
Yeah. Are you going to do any muscular character for Halloween?
Oh, gosh. I would love to eventually. I don't know if I'm doing what I'm doing for this Halloween.
Your mental space will go so open once this is
completed. And I feel like maybe next year will be a better time to just, like, do something like that. I would love to do like a Street Fighter character or something like that, something anime that's like really wild. But I don't feel like I have quite the muscularity for that at the moment.
Your arms look friggin' great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what characters you're thinking of for the rest, but like your arms are beefy.
Well,
like you're looking good.
Yeah, and I don't know what character I would pick. I was just telling my boyfriend the other day that it would be really funny if we did a couple's costume to do a Jessica and Roger Rabbit, but I would be dressed as Jessica but be the rabbit. He would be dressed as Roger but be the human. So I think that could be super fun.
So you inspired another question, then I have a last question.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
There are 3 might sneak in total. So wherein lies the fun in all of it? In the prep, in this whole thing, where's the fun? Because it is fun, but it's hard to articulate.
Honestly, like for me, and it's not so much the competing against other people. It's the performer in me. Like getting up on stage and performing. That's gonna be like the ultimate. Like that's the culmination of all of the fun. Like here's my package, enjoy it.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes total sense. I really enjoyed the catwalk part of the bikini prep. We had a catwalk on the stage. Nice. At the one I did in Denver years ago. Okay, so the last one there is it's going to become 3 questions. Sure. So time capsule. What is a message from yourself the night before your competition to you New Year's Day of this year?
Oh, okay.
Before you decided to compete. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yes.
Okay, so hold on. What is the message
Okay,
from me to my New Year's
January
Eve
1st,
2026?
Because you started this
Or do you mean 2025?
past, and then we're going to go future.
Okay. So
We might go further out for the future one.
Okay.
So it was before you decided to compete. It was
Okay.
before you had applied yourself to all this, all of that, but it was ignorant but recent Mallory.
Sure. Okay. So to the advice to my past self.
She's so close to competing her first time, she doesn't know it yet.
Yeah.
This is your message.
Yeah, I mean, gosh sakes. Just, stop self-sabotaging because you can do this. You have the ability, you have the resources at your fingertips. Just buckle down and fucking do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and then I'm asking myself how far out. So let's see. Your message from today.
Yeah.
We don't know what age you're going to retire, but
Sure.
suppose it's your retirement day and you're going to open up a little box of messages from the past, and one of them's, Mallory the night before her first competition.
Yeah.
What would you say to retiring Mallory?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know looking back at tonight, I will have no regrets of having done this. Whereas if I hadn't done it, I would maybe be there at 80 years old wondering shit, I should have just done it. But, doing it, being me now, talking to my older self, I hope that I cherish the memory of the day and remember it well.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about how it's a gift to our future selves too, and you've given her that gift. Somewhere in her body is the health you've built the last 5 months.
Yeah, and gaining this level of understanding and employing this level of discipline to keep my older self, in a better health. Like I know I'll never regret that. As long as I, just keep it up from here.
Yeah. I didn't expect to see the emotion. Where's it coming from? Is there certain thoughts in your head, or just unexpectedly got you, right?
Yeah, you just got me.
Got
The
you
last one. You
We're
just got me
tired.
the
It's
last
the
one.
night before.
Yeah.
You're maybe a little
Yeah.
hungry. Well, fantastic. You've done amazing.
Well, thank
And
you.
you're going to do amazing tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
And the channel will know whether you won.
And thank you so much for your support. You've been awesome.
You too. I love you.
I love you.
Let me just punch you while we're trying to hug.
Yes.
Strong girls punch each other.
Oh God, she got me. God damn it. Wasn't supposed to happen.